In this video, we present the work done by Sven Persson on ground-based experiments towards autonomous capture of orbital debris with a robotic manipulator. This work was done at the Aerospace Mechatronics laboratory of McGill University's Center of Intelligent Machines under the supervision of Professor Ina Scharf. Autonomous capture of a tumbling satellite is a key technology for both active space debris removal and on-orbit servicing of satellites, which are two very active research goals in the mitigation of the proliferation of space debris in orbit around the Earth. The first component of our ground-based facility is a neutrally buoyant airship. This helium-filled spherical blimp is capable of full 6 degrees of freedom control using 6 propellers mounted on its carbon fiber structure. A Vicon vision system measures the position and orientation of the airship within the room, while an onboard inertial measurement unit provides angular velocity measurements. This sensory feedback is used by an onboard microcontroller to perform both the state estimation via an invariant Kalman filter as well as the closed-loop control via a symmetry-preserving linear quadratic regulator. This allows the airship to regulate its position, make slew maneuvers, and follow trajectories with reasonable repeatability and accuracy. With a diameter of 6 feet and a total mass of 3.7 kilograms, maintaining neutral buoyancy and an even mass distribution is a very delicate task, and perfect balance can rarely be achieved. For this reason, the Kalman filtering method is augmented with online estimation of the buoyancy deficit and the position of the center of mass with respect to the center of buoyancy. This allows the LQR controller to compensate for these imperfections and thereby suppressing steady-state errors and off-axis motion during slew maneuvers, as demonstrated here with the addition of 10 grams on one side of the airship. The second component of our facility is a 6 degrees of freedom manipulator on a 3-meter-long track. Playing the role of a manipulator on a servicing spacecraft, our manipulator seeks to capture the airship at a specific location where a simple grapple fixture can be grabbed by its gripper. Shown here is a simple point-to-point maneuver to capture a stationary airship. Under general tumbling motion, a collision between the target satellite and the manipulator is a real possibility and must be avoided, requiring more sophisticated motion planning. Sampling-based motion planners are a class of methods that can be used to plan collision-free maneuvers in high-dimensional spaces with complex geometries and constraints. These methods work by randomly exploring the configuration space while constructing and optimizing a graph of collision-free motion segments between those random milestones. We've developed a new family of such methods that incorporates the A-star heuristic search strategy to drive the generation of those samples. Firmly grounded in probability theory, our integration of A-star heuristics leads to a formal proof of probabilistic completeness with a bounded convergence rate. We call our method the sampling-based A-star method, or SPA-star. By using a simulated annealing approach to balance exploration and exploitation, we achieve state-of-the-art performance and reliability with our motion planner. To apply this method to our experimental scenarios, we developed a comprehensive software suite in C++ to perform all the required tasks, such as estimating the target's motion, planning a maneuver, and ultimately executing it in a simulated environment or during a live experiment. Our manipulator has a total of 7 degrees of freedom and has joint limits in terms of position, velocity, acceleration, and jerk. To respect those constraints, we use a sustained acceleration pulse method for interpolation between milestones, which we express as a vector of joint position, joint velocities, and time, giving our planning space a total of 15 dimensions. Despite the high dimensionality of the problem, our motion planner can find a solution within a few seconds, even in our most difficult scenarios. One such scenario is shown here, where the manipulator has to move all the way across the track to reach the grapple fixture located on the opposite side. Streaming the airship's sensory data to the planning computer, we can estimate its motion and the drag affecting it, and thereby predict its motion sufficiently far into the future to allow us to perform live experiments by manually pushing the airship into motion. Here, the gripper has been removed because collisions cannot be completely avoided due to all the issues associated with live experiments, especially considering how sensitive an airship is to the slightest of disturbances. Nevertheless, our experiments were quite successful and achieved reasonable accuracy at the capture point. We hope you enjoyed this brief presentation of our research. If you want to know more about this project or about our lab, feel free to contact us at the following coordinates.